Autoline Daily is brought to you by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Here are today's top headlines. Toyota's problems are just getting going. Tesla might do an IPO, and believe it or not, on a global basis, car sales barely fell at all last year. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Monday, February 1, 2010, and now the news. Toyota says it has a fix for its sticking gas pedals. The government has approved it, and the company is sending repair kits to dealers. But Toyota's problems are far from over. The Detroit News reports that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration raised concerns over sticking throttles in 2007. But Toyota told it there was no problem. Former NHTSA Administrator Nicole Nason says Toyota should be severely punished if it misled investigators. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports Japanese media is portraying U.S. media coverage of the Toyota recall as Japan bashing, as a resurgence of 1980s type protectionism. But I can assure my Japanese colleagues they simply don't understand the American mindset. The media here always goes after whoever is number one. And after it knocked off General Motors, it was only a matter of time before the media went after Toyota. And Toyota just gave the media the perfect excuse to go for the throat. Last week, we reported that Hyundai would not offer special incentives to lure Toyota buyers into its showrooms. I guess they changed their minds. Now they'll give $1,000 to any Toyota customer who buys a Hyundai. Even investors are worried about Toyota. Autoblog reports the company's stock fell 14% last week, which translates into a market cap drop of $21 billion. Autoblog, by the way, is already referring to this story as Throttlegate. Okay, enough Toyota already. Ford Sync is one of the best in-car connectivity systems on the market today, and other automakers have taken notice. According to Ward's, competitors have been in touch with the company and are interested in licensing the technology. Ford has not yet decided if it will sell Sync to other car makers, but if it does choose to go that route, it would only offer older versions of the system. Sync was launched in 2008 and was developed with Microsoft. It's currently in its third generation. The Blue Oval lost exclusivity on the technology last November, and now Kia is set to launch its own version called Yuvo, but Ford says it's still far ahead of the competition. Riding the recent wave of environmental consciousness, Reuters reports that last Friday, Tesla filed an IPO, or initial public offering, for up to $100 million. The electric car maker, best known for its $110,000 battery-powered Roadster, has not revealed when it will go public or how much shares will cost. Interestingly, if it does happen, this would be the first IPO of a U.S. automaker since Ford went public back in 1956. With nearly all the major automakers reporting huge sales losses last year, you'd think overall global sales would be down significantly. Not so, Ward's reports. Global sales only fell about 2% in 2009, with 66.1 million vehicles being delivered around the world. Even though North America and Europe saw big losses, sales gains in the Asia-Pacific region, mainly China, nearly offset those. Without China's breakout year, global sales would have been down nearly 11%. And Chinese company Tengzhong, which is looking to buy Hummer from General Motors, agreed to extend the deadline to buy it. According to the AFP, the original deadline was set to expire on Sunday, meaning yesterday. Now it's been pushed back to the end of February. Ford's been on a roll lately, but that does not mean everything is perfect at the company. Coming up next, we'll look at some issues I recently ran into on the Lincoln MKS. The Lincoln MKS is a very good car in most regards, but not everything about this car is perfect. Let's go take a look at this clip that we recently shot.
The Ford Motor Company is getting all kinds of accolades these days, coming out with great product and greatly improving its quality, but it's still missing on a few things. Come on inside this Lincoln MKS and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I get inside this car and turn on the radio on AM, it comes in loud and clear. If I switch over to satellite radio, also very clear, but when I put on FM, it sounds like it's off. Feels like I've got to tune in the station better, but of course this is a digital radio. You can't tune it in any better. There's something wrong with this FM. And besides, look at all these buttons on the console here. They're all the same size. They're all marked the same. There's no weighting to anything. If you get in the car for the first time and try to look around, it's kind of confusing. You have to look at each and every button individually. I know Ford's working on this. They'll get it straightened out. The other thing, however, is when I turn on the lights at night, the brights come on. And it does it automatically. Even when there's other traffic around, I'll try to turn off the brights, and they just come on automatically by themselves. Very frustrating. I'm sure there's a way to fix this, but again, getting in the car, you really have to study it. So even though Ford's making a lot of progress on quality, it still doesn't have everything just right.
You know, Ford might actually want to think about tamping down everyone's enthusiasm for the company these days. While Ford has made amazing progress, it still has a lot of improvements to make, and it better be careful that the public's expectations don't run ahead of reality. And that is it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.